Hello and a very good day everyone. So today we will learn on Power Query and Pivot Table. As you can see over here, now we do have a case study whereby we do have a problem. As we can see in this particular data, we do have three different columns, whereas the first column is month, the second column is customer, the third column is sales. If we look carefully in this particular column, we notice that this column has mixed data, whereby the customer is actually merged together in one cell where we have Jake and Black, and for example in sales we have together in one cell. So our intention or our desired outcome is we want to separate a data and we want to create in this particular output. So basically we want to transpose and change this data into this particular format. So how we are going to do? So first thing is we need to separate this data. As you can see here, we need to separate by using comma, and we need to separate using this comma. So once we separate, we need to put in this desired output. So now the thing is how we are going to do it. So let's get started. So now I'm going to go to this raw data. In this particular data, what I'm going to do is I'm going to press Ctrl A. The purpose of Ctrl A is it is to highlight the entire table. And then the next step is I go to data. As you can see over here, this is a data ribbon, and then I go to the area of get and transform data. Then what I do is I click on the icon of from table/range. I click this icon and then I press OK. So once I press OK, you will notice that we will go to Power Query Editor. So the thing is, I want to separate this data because you notice that this data is connected together with a comma. So how to separate is, if just say I select this and I split column by delimiter, it can separate, but it will only separate one column at a time. So what I'm going to do is, I don't want to use the split column. Basically what I'm going to do is add column, and then I go to custom column, and then once I go to custom column, basically I want to use a function of tag split. So I'm going to click here, tag split. As you can see over here, this formula called tag split. So I'm going to press tab and then I press open bracket. So what I'm going to split? I'm going to split this particular column called customer. So I'm going to select customer, I press insert, and then I press comma, and then I press apostrophe. If you look over here, if you can see here, when I press comma, it shows us text split. There are two arguments. First thing is the text, second thing is the separator. So how I want to split the text? So first thing is the column, the customer. The second thing is the separator. So the separator, as you can see over here, is the comma. So I want to put apostrophe, double apostrophe, comma, and then after that I close bracket. Once I close bracket, you will see there is no syntax error, and I press OK. So now we have done for the first data, first column. Now I want to do the same thing for the second column, which is sales. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to add column, custom column, and I want to do the same thing. This time text split again, and then I'm going to press open bracket, and then I'm going to choose sales. Because why I choose sales? Because I want to split the comma. So I click insert, and then I press comma, apostrophe, comma, because it is separated by comma, and then I press close bracket. So I'm going to press OK. So now we have custom and custom one. So these two columns we can actually delete. Okay, since we have custom and custom one, what is the next step is I want to combine these two. So in order to combine this, I'm going to go to custom column again. So custom column is actually under the add column. So I go to custom column, a box will appear. So this time I want to use the argument of table from column. So table from columns. Okay, so and I'm going to press open bracket. So they want to know which column I want to combine. Okay, so I'm going to select this. So what happens if just say I never use a special bracket? So just say I press here insert and comma insert, okay, and then close bracket. Although there is no syntax error, so once I press OK, you will notice there is an error. So what we can do is we need to put a special bracket. Okay, special bracket, and over here special bracket, and then I press enter. Now it works accordingly. So we need to put the special bracket. And then what's the next step is I click there and then I press OK. So once I press OK, so now you'll see this data. So I'm going to remove this. So once I remove this, now we have the months, we have the customer, and we have the sales. So what I'm going to do here is, you see here there's zero and null. So I'm going to press here right click and then I'm going to go to fill down. So once I press fill down, so now you see this is okay, and then this one I'll change the format into text format, and this thing over here sales I want to change into decimal number, and I'll rename this is the customer, and I'll rename this as sales. Okay, so we have the month, we have the customer, we have the sales. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go to home and close and load, and I press close and load too. So once I press close and load too, and then after that I choose pivot table report, and then I want to put in existing worksheet, just say somewhere over here, and I press OK. So since we have actually put our data over here, and I'll take the months, so the months will be in the rows, I take the customer, and I take the sales. So now this is our data, but actually I want the data in this particular format. So how to do in this particular format is I'll go to design, and then I choose a report layout of tabular form. So I click, and then it will be in tabular form, it will be in this format. But if you look here carefully, we want the January to appear again. So what I'm going to do is I put here, I go to design, and I go to report layout, I show repeat all items. So now it will appear in this particular format. So you just say I want to create a new one, which is May, and then I put here Alan, and then I put comma, I put here Suda, I put here comma, I put here Nimalan. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to write here 100, 200, and then 300. So since I've written the numbers, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to press here right click, and then when I click refresh, you will see the data is being automated accordingly.